So the Sixers edge out another win in overtime, this one via the Charlotte Hornets, and they moved to 2-7 on the season. But last night showed us something on an even deeper level, as it appears they may have another young emerging star on their hands. And two players have made the case now for potential starting spots with Joel Embiid returning. So we'll look at what Nick Nurse did last night and talk about what he needs to do moving forward to put this team in the best position to succeed. But welcome on in. What a win last night. I'm RB. This is Philly Take with RB. Do me a favor, like this video, go down below, hit that subscribe button, and help us hit our goal of 40K subs. We are almost there. I know we didn't stream last night, but shout out to JJ for holding it down and, providing amazing coverage. And I did catch, most of the second half, the overtime period. And what a win it was. What a crazy, chaotic game. I guess the Sixers can only win in overtime this season, but we will obviously be back tomorrow for the Embiid debut. We'll talk about Joel Embiid and how he's going to impact this team. We will talk about some of these young emerging players, but I want to start off with a question of the day. What is the optimal lineup for the 76ers when Joel Embiid returns tomorrow, hopefully, as we think he will, against the New York Knicks? Drop your best starting five down below. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my starting five and my bench five, and we'll see how it compares. But before we get into the chaos, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, with the season finally here, I have been looking for the best deal on Sixers tickets, and today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events on SeatGeek, including concerts, sport games, festivals, and more. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about actually going to see Paul George's first game back against the Clippers in November at the Wells Fargo Center, and it is all thanks to SeatGeek's amazing deals. Football's in the heart of the season. Basketball season is finally back. Plus, there are artists like Post Malone and Justin Timberlake out on tour right now, and SeatGeek puts all the tickets across the web in one place to make sure you are getting a good deal. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. So go ahead and check out all those great deals, and I had to come through for you guys. Use the code PHILLYTAKE for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. Once again, that is $20 off your first purchase with promo code PHILLYTAKE. Make sure you click the link down in the description to download the app. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to start the movement. All right, we need to start the movement. Last night was the coming out party for Jared McCain, and we've been talking about this and how he's building up to this, and he's had some really good performances off the bench. But what I saw out of Jared McCain last night was just veteran level stuff. He looked like he belonged, and he got the opportunity and he took advantage of it, even in an overtime where they had to sit Paul George. Nick Nurse did not like doing that, but he had 33 minutes logged and he's on a minute restriction, and unfortunately he had to sit out PG. So it felt like, at the end of that game when Lowry misses the free throw and the Sixers are just missing opportunities and LaMelo hits an unbelievable turnaround fadeaway three, it felt like the Sixers, again, were going to lose, and it was going to be another tumultuous loss. But they pull through via Jared McCain, and Guerschon Yabusele was also incredible. The guy just seems like he is fitting in. You have two guys coming off the bench doing what they did last night. It is going to really impact this team. But the question is, should they be starting? I think these two could potentially be in the starting lineup when Joel Embiid comes back. Do I think it's realistic to happen? We'll talk about that. All right. Let's talk about what Jared McCain said to me at NBA Summer League. I got to interview him and talk with him for a few minutes, and it's the one thing I preached all off season with Jared McCain. And I asked him what he's working on to help his game quickly translate to the NBA, right? These young guys come in, they go from playing against kids to grown men, and sometimes it hits them like a brick and they don't know what's happening. But Jared McCain seems so comfortable right now on the floor. And here's what he had said to me, quote, playing team defense, making the right rotations, making the right reads, and also just shot making. And, the one skill I constantly said, if Jared McCain can knock down his shots like he did at Duke in his freshman year, he's going to at least find a handful of minutes on the floor. Well, guess what? He has blown me away. He has blown you away. This kid has already exceeded expectations. Now, I'm not ready to go down the road of he's already a budding superstar and he's already going to be an all-star. There were some people saying last night in my DMs, well, did we get another Tyrese Maxey? I don't want to go that far yet, but this kid is special. You can see the IQ. He makes the right play almost every time, and it feels like he's already been there for years. As a matter of fact, after the game, he talked about having a therapist and how he has a very, strict routine and how he makes sure he does certain things to make sure he's staying in the moment. And I just thought that was a really interesting answer from a young kid like himself who's 20 years old. But nonetheless, the Sixers squeak one out against the Hornets, and Jared McCain leads the way with 27 off the bench. He had 23 in the second half in overtime, and it felt like he just kept getting better. It feels like he has that gene where when you need a big shot in the fourth quarter, doesn't matter. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to take it. Say what you want about his character. This kid is tough as nails, man. He is a baller. He can hoop, and it has been on full display almost any time he gets opportunity. That's why I was pissed when he only had a couple minutes, a few games ago. Like, Nick Nurse has to rely on the young guys. He has to rely on Jared McCain, and he has only earned himself more opportunity, and he looks like he's going to be very special. Here's what Nurse said about McCain after the game and his defense, quote, "He's getting chances to get better. This is a starting point for anybody, but especially a rookie. Do you want to play it? He does want to play it. Are you going to work hard and give the effort it takes to play defense at this level?" He does. He does everything, man. And there was one play, and it was against LaMelo Ball in overtime, who had, I think, 36 or 38 at this point. And for Jared McCain to take him one-on-one like this and to say, I want the assignment, right? And just watch this. He's going to get switched right there. And look at this. He literally locks him up for a whole, 8 to 10 seconds, and he doesn't let him go anywhere. And the Sixers were up 1, and he forces a shot clock violation. That's just something that's hard to teach, man. It's just the instinct. And this is one of the plays he talked about, just letting that instinct kicked in and just staying locked in on the moment. I mean, this is beautiful defense. Look how he shifts his feet, stays in front. Hands are active in the face of LaMelo, who's on fire. Just a beautiful play out of Jared McCain on the defensive end. And he was, highlighted for his rebounding, a little bit of his defense. Obviously, his offense was the upside and like the boom or bust type of trait. But he can play everything, man. And here's a few more plays last night from Jared McCain. I just want to go through some of these and look at the types of reads he's making, even as a young kid. So Drummond sets a screen, and watch how he uses his body, right, to kind of create a little bit of separation, goes up with a nice little jelly right there. Just a soft touch from Jared McCain. Here's another one, and look at his shot, man. Coming off a roll up top, boom. I mean, that is a beautiful shot, man. That is a beautiful shot. Look how he gets away. Oh, it's a nice shot, man. It's nice to have a Sixers rookie that has a normal shooting form that can just knock down. And then here he is again later in the game with another pick and roll. And he notices his defender get lost on a screen a little bit. Just for a split second, he's going to drive. There's that soft touch again. And here is my favorite play of the night for Jared McCain. He's got Brandon Miller, the number 2 overall pick, on an ISO. This is not easy. I mean, Brandon Miller is a very good player, and he's been hooping to start the season. Look at this. He's going to drive, the spin in one motion, and the fade. I mean, that is poetic. Look at that play, man. That was a big-time bucket in the fourth quarter that was much needed. Let's look at it again. Look at the way he's playing his position right now. It looks like he's been here for 5 years. I mean, those are just big-time shots, man. We've seen that a lot from Maxey as well late in games. Locked in, laser-focused. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to give Jared McCain more minutes. I would start him. I honestly think he's ready. Maybe that's a little bit of overkill and going overboard. But I think this kid's ready for the moment. I would start Jared McCain. Do you agree or disagree? No matter what, even if you don't start him and he becomes that 6th man, even when Maxey comes back, he's got to play 25 to 30 minutes a night. That's how good he already is. And I think the Sixers really have something here with Jared. Another guy is Guerschon Yabusele, who drops 20 and 8 last night. He goes 8 for 13 from the field, 2 for 4 from deep, and a plus 12. Guerschon Yabusele has nothing to lose. He comes here after not playing in the league for 6 years, and he is seizing the moment. And I continue to say, the Sixers have a power forward issue, but if Guerschon Yabusele can actually knock down shots, if he can become a 3-point shooter, doesn't have to be great, but just good, and can rebound the basketball, he is the perfect complement next to Joel Embiid. And the way he's been shooting lately, what he's been doing, shows that he might be ready for that. Guerschon Yabusele this season, 20 minutes per game, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. I'm pretty sure all of those are career highs. And just for a guy to be able to, make the most of his opportunity, he's on like a weird contract. It's like not even guaranteed. Just for him to come here and enjoy and embrace this opportunity is huge. I love his mentality. I love the way he's just going out there, not trying to do too much, just fitting into his role. And Nick Nurse talked about that after the game too. He says he played pretty good in almost every game, right? He's finding enough perimeter shots and making enough. He doesn't make a ton of mistakes, which is huge for us right now. Again, he's going to get the ball to somebody if he's in the offense to keep the offense moving. He'll play really hard, but he's been good. And he's been so good that Nick Nurse actually started him in the second half last night. And he talked about Drummond, saying Drummond needs to be better. He needs to do more. And I like that accountability from Nick Nurse. But Yabu has been miles better than Drummond, especially in these last several games. And man, oh man, 31 minutes last night. He can handle the workload. Guerschon Yabusele and Jared McCain had a masterclass last night. And I think these two should have more minutes, and they should honestly be starting when Joel Embiid comes back. And that takes me to Joel Embiid. The return is tomorrow. The season officially starts tomorrow. As bad as it has been to watch, as terrible as it has been to try to grind these games out, Joel Embiid, the MVP, the big fella's coming back. His suspension is over, and we hope that he's going to make his debut against the Knicks in the first game of the NBA Cup. I guess that means we'll have those, different colored floors. It's going to be a wild atmosphere. The Knicks have been up and down. I think a lot of the Knicks know that, they have overpaid for Mikal Bridges, but there's going to be a lot of intensity in that game, especially after the playoff series last year. So, Sixers got to lock in. I'm not expecting them to win by 1,000,000. Even if they don't win, they need to play competitive. No Maxey right now. PG had a little eye thing going on last night. Hopefully he's okay. But Joel Embiid and this team need to lock in against the Knicks. They need to look competent, right? Just give us some hope. Give us some hope that, okay, Joel's back. Things are okay. We can take a deep breath. And here's the lineup that I would go with, that if the Sixers are fully healthy in a couple weeks, doesn't actually sound too bad to me. Kyle Lowry, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Guerschon Yabusele, and Joel Embiid. That's the lineup I think it is going to be. And what I would actually do is start Jared McCain and plug him in either at the 1 or 2 with Tyrese Maxey. And that's what I would do. But I know Nick Nurse is going to stick with Kyle Lowry. However, then you have Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin coming off the bench. That's a high prolific scoring bench right there. And you take some of that pressure off Oubre and Martin, who really have not lived up to their potential just yet. I feel like Caleb Martin is coming around. Kelly's got to knock down more shots, and they still need some help. Like I said, at the 4, KJ Martin really hasn't shown us a lot. Guerschon has taken advantage of the moment and has really capitalized. But, if the Sixers can get a little more size, and again, they have tradable assets, they can go make some moves. They need to do that. But right now, this lineup doesn't sound as bad when you bring back Joel Embiid into the equation, given how Yabu's playing, given how McCain's playing, and Drummond will revert back into that backup 5 role where I think he's a lot more comfortable. So that's where I'm at with this. Look, the Sixers have to get it right, and they have to get on the same page. But right now, a couple guys are emerging, and that could take a huge amount of pressure off of the other guys. Paul George has been up and down, but how will he look as the third option behind Joel Embiid and behind Tyrese Maxey? That's really another huge question mark. But it seems like we'll get some answers tomorrow as the Sixers play the Knicks and then the Cavs the next day. So a couple big-time games. We'll see if Joel Embiid plays in both of the back-to-back games. But other than that, man, shout out to Jared McCain. The Sixers have a really young, exciting, polarizing player on their hands again. And he helped the Sixers get a big-time win over the Charlotte Hornets. So give me your thoughts down below. How do you feel about Jared McCain? How do you feel about Guerschon Yabusele? What would your starting 5 look like? Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.